Now, you mentioned earlier on that the average age for a woman to contract breast cancer, did you say was over 35?
Over 35, yeah. It's more, you know, we are seeing here more breast cancer in between 40 and 50 years of age than overseas. The mean age overseas is somewhere in between 50 and 70 years, more towards the 60-year side. Why is that so? I think it's merely a population age effect, because the population that we are having here in a developing country is younger in general. We don't have the age pyramid that is shaped like in developed countries, where you get an awful lot of older people, and cancer in general is actually a disease of the older, more mature person. That is part of it, and then we also know that in non-white population groups, breast cancer actually occurs about a decade earlier than in white population groups.
Really?
Yes. And
why is that?
There are some underlying genetic factors that see to it that the incidence of breast cancer in, let's say, for example, 20-year-old white women versus 20-year-old black women is only about 40%. So a black woman of that age is 2.5 times more likely to have breast cancer than, or to get breast cancer, than a woman that is white. Conversely, there is a crossover then somewhere in around about age 45, when breast cancer becomes more common in white women. But there's another interesting factor to that. As soon as non-white women acquire the deleterious dietary habits and lifestyle habits of white women, they also suffer breast cancer at the same ages. Why that is so, we cannot explain 100%, but we have an inkling that there are genetic factors in there, and obviously, once again, we come to lifestyle.
Now, are women in South Africa as educated as they should be about breast cancer?
Oh, I can give you a typical South African answer for that. Ja, nee. Because it is our experience that if you go into the more educated professional women, they know very well what breast cancer is all about. Conversely, if you're going more to the rural areas, to the lesser educated people, then you will find there are an awful lot of beliefs and myths and social stigmata around that actually shouldn't be there. Breast cancer is a disease for me like any other disease, like for example hypertension or diabetes, and it should be demystified in the same way.
Now, does this require more education from the school level?
I think that it starts at school level, but it should carry on into adulthood. One should also not forget that many women that we are seeing with breast cancer do not have access to modern communication channels. And I mean, just now in October, just look at you and me sitting here on the couch and discussing breast cancer. This message will go out and you can hardly miss it if you have a TV or a computer or a cell phone these days. However, if you have neither of the three and don't speak English, then the access to information becomes a little bit more limited.
How do we reach those people?
You're asking me now something to which I can give you only a very personal answer. I think it's a great injustice to the population of this country that not everybody enjoys a quality education.